Newborn American babies. Newborn citizens of these United States. Free and with rights guaranteed by the Constitution. But let's take a closer look. These new arrivals in a typical American town have equal legal rights. In class, they are not equal at all. Each has a social status handed on to him by his family, ascribed to him at birth. Meet Guilford Ames III, the latest addition to one of the town's upper-class families. Guilford Ames II is the wealthiest man in town. He owns a large factory. The Ames is one of the oldest families in the community, and so it represents prestige as well as wealth. This is where an Ames family has lived for the last 100 years, and this is where Guilford Ames III will live. Like most of the babies here, this one, Theodore Eastwood by name, has an ascribed status of middle class. His father is Joseph Eastwood, high school educated and a white-collar worker in the Ames factory. He has a steady, skillful job and is comfortably off, but the chances are that he will not advance much beyond his present status. The mortgage on his house is on its way to being paid, and someday it undoubtedly will be. Although young Ted Eastwood has an ascribed status of middle class, the best status he achieves during his lifetime may be higher than the one he was born with. It could be true to maybe David Benton, whose ascribed status is lower class. David's father is Michael Benton, an unskilled factory worker who has a meager education. Mr. Benton rents the upper floor of a two-family house in a rundown section of town. The ability to rise from an ascribed status to an achieved one is called vertical mobility and is particularly characteristic of the United States. There are class lines within each general group, and these vary geographically and in relation to nationality, religion, and race. Class exists in the United States as it does everywhere, and it plays a vital part in the life of every community.
There's West Hampton, Southampton, and East Hampton. They each have strong personalities of their own.
Hampton Bays.
I don't consider Hampton Bays part of the Hamptons, and nobody else does.
But it has the name in it, and there are people.
But it's still, I know what people mean. They do mean West. They're the resort towns. Hampton Bays is the place where electricians live. I don't mean to say anything about it.
No, excuse me.
No matter where you've risen in life, fitting into your new surroundings may not be a done deal. Even if you've struck it rich, moved to the fancy part of town, and built your dream house, you still may not be ready to swim with the big fish.
Here's some vast new house that somebody has.
That's absolutely nouveau.
Yep, somebody has knocked down some house and decided to.
But they're trying.
I think originally this was a very waspy community, and as things began to change, other groups started coming in, so now there is an equal number of prominent Jewish people. I'm sure there are some blacks out here.
Becoming slightly diverse, but I wouldn't exactly call this a multicultural area.
Right. That's fair.
On behalf of Mercedes-Benz USA, welcome to the 6th Annual Mercedes-Benz Polo Challenge at the Bridgehampton Polo Club.
In The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald told the story of a gangster who threw lavish parties in order to be accepted by New York society. 80 years later, the game of social advancement is still being fought on the green lawns of New York's summer colony, as new money stakes its claim to social position.
It's a mix.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Fashion, age.
I don't think everybody here is a Rockefeller.
So far, I've seen Francesco Scavullo, the famous photographer that everybody knows, and also David Hasselhoff from Baywatch.
Well, I would say that I have been able to and have access to the best of all things, quite frankly. And the people around here certainly, I think, are in the same kind of a level in a group. So it's kind of nice, in a good way. It's something you work for and you attain. So it's a nice feeling.
There's this thing on Wall Street called the wealth effect. You immediately get spoiled. You immediately adopt a sense of entitlement. There's this feeling of, I'm very rich. I'm out here in my $4 million home. I want instant attention. I want you to pet me and caress me and be terrific to me, even though you're a 19-year-old kid working his way through college at the bagel store. So if you want to see class, go to the bagel store in the morning when the guys pull up in their Porsches and push around the poor kid behind the counter.
The rich rule.
This new Benton baby has the ascribed status given him by his family. He may, as he grows up, reach a higher achieved status as Ted Eastwood did. Or he may, as his own father did, stay in the class to which he was born. His vertical mobility will depend greatly upon him, his character, his talents, and abilities. It will possibly depend, too, upon geographical mobility, because the criteria for class boundaries vary from place to place. And so it will be for all these babies, all citizens, all equal before the law, but not the same by standards of class.